today's question, MVP, minimum viable product, versus MMP, minimum marketable product. Let's try and start with the example itself. Think of a donut, the one you get as generally the sweet snack, uh, in different flavors like chocolate, vanilla, chocolate filled within some more sweet small peppermint kind of things spread across the donut. So think of that, and let's start with our definitions. So MVP. Now, like I said, MVP is minimum viable product. Now, it's a version of a new product which allows the team to collect maximum amount of validated learnings about the users with minimal efforts. Now, what it means is it's a for sure to just break it down. It's for sure a new version of that product that we're trying to bring to the market. Now, with that, users would try and go to the market, maybe conduct customer research, surveys, maybe give out samples, and just collect validated learnings wherein the users are trying to experience the product, the tangible product itself, or at least see how it feels, how it works, or how it might work in the future, and just to share their experiences. Now, what's the significance in this case? Now, let's say, again going back to my example, let's say first you validate the entire business idea. If I take this donut to the market as it is, without any sweet or without any savory filling in it, will the people really buy it? It gives you the valuable insights about what would sell and what would not sell. You might give an option to the people like, would you prefer strawberry sauce or mango sauce within it, or would you like chocolate sauce, chocolate syrup into it? So all that will give you an insight. A customer might like it, customer might not like it. Now, another important factor is it can be helped to test the demand, basically to test the market and understand the demand for that product in whatever shape and form you're trying to bring it into the market. Now, this testing that you're trying to do for the demand, it's without even 100% of full-fledged commitment to the product. It might happen that the demand is not really there, and you're just trying to check if people would really want this one or a variation of this product, right? Now, it would establish a visible product in front of the customers, and they would be able to tell, okay, are they really ready for the product right away? So you can just go into the production and give that product just in 2 months or 3 months to the people, and they would start buying. Or maybe there are a lot of modifications that are really required, and it's still some time to just think about and maybe put more efforts into the product development. So that basic donut just fried and taken into the market, that can really give you all the valuable insights. Moving to the MMP. Now, MMP, like I said earlier, it's the minimum marketable product. Now, what it means is, of course, obviously, it's the next practical step after an MVP is taken to the a small subset of the users. You get the valuable insight, and you try and then market your product to same users or a larger group of users, a community or a particular region. Now, the significance of MMP is it all revolves around the customer needs. Now, you have to understand the MMP product that you're trying to bring to the market. Is it trying to create the desired user experience or not? Are you trying to have you incorporated all the core functionalities that the customer was asking for at the time of MVP? Now, you have to understand that it has to generate the value which the business is expecting, right? Now, that everything is around the user experience that they are expecting, that they want, that they're lacking in the market right now, right? Now, second important part is you do not go with 100% product. You still take let's say majority of the must have features and maybe few of good to have features. Now a balanced combination of these two, must have and good to have, you market that product and you keep on improving that. With that gradual improvement on the MMP, you again create next MVP, and then you again gather insights. You again try and understand if the value that you're trying to generate, is it there, or it is, does it still require a few versions down the line. Going back to my example of donuts, let's say in your market research, in your customer understanding, you found that the customer really like sweet donut. You understood that the customer wanted a donut of circular shape, not spherical, not squarish, not a rectangular in shape, but circular in shape. You also understood that people were inclined to pick a sweet donut over a savory donut. You were also you were also able to gauge the information about flavors that the customer are looking for. You're also able to understand the shape, the size of the donuts. You don't want it in let's say 2 inches in diameter. You would like to have 1 inch in diameter. You would also understand the quantity of that donut. So all these things you were able to gather with just MVP, and then you put that into practice with MMP. Now between MVP and MMP, you have put in a lot of money, wherein with MVP it's the minimum product that you're trying to test. It's the prototype, if you may call it. With MMP, now you're going full-fledged into the market with all your capital, with all your investments, not just money, even the team's effort, the whole company's organization's effort into that MMP. With that, you're trying to generate the value for the business as well. With MVP, you're just trying to gauge the market, how it would respond to it. Would they really be inclined to buy this product? Would they like to experience this product or not? With MMP, now your product is in a more finished state, a more complete state, so that people are ready for it to give their money and invest into it and buy it for their customer need. So yeah, that's the difference.
Hi all, this is Satish. So today's question or topic for discussion is what's MVP and MMF. So MVP like minimum marketable products. This is actually like to identify the customer feedbacks. Also, for example, like we have an idea and we need to validate like how the customers will react to that idea when the actual product or service is developed. So by making less investment and with minimal effort, we will just make out a, we will just reach out to the customers to identify how it's going to reach out to the customers and their feedback based on their actually the feedback on this idea, right, from the customers, right. There may be sometimes we can there will be like we can make small changes, or sometimes if it's really not going to reach out to the customers, this idea can be abandoned uh, abandoned and also I would definitely say this is actually not a first version of the product. This is just to get an idea how it will reach out to the whereas the MMP, right, minimum marketable product, it's continuation to the MVP. Here actually based on that feedback, right, on the idea we had, we will actually try to try to develop the initial version of the product and make the customers to use it and feel, and based on the further feedback and usage, right, we can incrementally build additional features to the initial product we developed. So both like maybe this one we can consider as a first, I mean the MMP, minimum marketable product, can be our first version of your product. So both light MVP and MMP will be first we will validate an idea using the MVP by making with less effort, and the first version can be released using this MMP, minimum marketable product. Maybe to understand example, so maybe this is one of the leading actually online retail shoe store example. So once actually that store, they decided to validate that idea. Once they decided to sell shoes online, so they just want to validate their idea. What they did, they went to all the nearest shoe stores, they just took the photo, and they just displayed in the website. Customers, right, who went and actually seen that this like customers who went and ordered also. This is where like the store, right, who decided to go online, get their idea validated by making very minimal investment and reach out to the customers. Once the customer ordered, this is where the minimum marketable product, they actually went to the actual store and bought that shoes and delivered. So here the customers, they don't know that actually the website is really working, or they thought that the website they are ordering through it, and but at the back end, right, they just enter the store. And so based on this complete idea and the first version they developed, right, they went on to build the online store, online store, and developed added additional features like the payment gateway integration, sending notifications. So everything they added incrementally. So yeah, this is all about the MVP and MMP, minimum marketable product and minimum uh, viable product. Yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone. So today's question is, what is MVP and MMP? So first of all, MVP stands for minimal viable product. So minimum viable product, as it is known as minimum because here the and minimum time and efforts are required to produce a minimum version of the product. So basically here the team required very less efforts and to create it possible. But this doesn't mean that a team will create like bad quality product, or it has to be quick and dirty. It should be like they try to keep it small as possible as to accelerate the learning. So the minimal viable product is basically for accelerating the learning, as they need to show this idea to the end user, whether they are to validate whether they are going on the right direction or not. So it is generally like MVP is generally defined by Eric Rice as a learning vehicle. So it allows us to test an idea by exposing an early version of the product to the targeted users and the customer. So goal of MVP is to successful product idea, and like early users check the concept and validate the same and provide the feedback for the MVP, like to release the first basic version to the market or not. So coming to the other part, that is MMP. So basically MMP stands for minimal marketable product. So MMP stands for the product that is ready to launch but still is in the basic or with minimum features in the market. Like it is the first version of the product or the final product. So basically MMP is based on the idea that less is more. So basically it defines the product with the smallest or necessary features that the end users required, and hence can be sold out in the market. So basically, MMP consists of various MVP, because in MVP we have checked and validated the idea by the customers or the end users, and in MP we are launching the first version or the basic version to the market to sold it out and know like how many users are interested in the end product. So basically we have to create a right amount of feature first in MMP. So it's like we have to develop the product for the few, not the many people. And suppose if we have launched the product with the basic features in the market, and our product got successful with the basic features, so that so we can add on the other additional features as well into our product, and release the different versions of the project. So the goal of MMP is to successfully launch the first version, whereas the goal of MVP was to successfully product the idea. So coming to a real life example, suppose the first example I am giving is of donut. Like our target is to make the donut. So the team started preparing the donut, and they work in very less time, and have given very less effort. So they have made some kind of shakkar paras, you can say, as a MVP, minimal viable product. And after validating it, they have given the shape of that shakkar paras into donut round shaped, and they have like this basic shape and the basic flavor. So plain flavor of the donut was launched in the market as MMP, minimal marketable product. And after the first version of this donut, they have released the various different version in the feature, or with the in the future, or with the addition of the features, as you can say, chocolate donut, vanilla donut, and etc. The other example is like basically the target is to prepare a potato vegetable, aloo ki sabji, you can say. So now you have boiled the potatoes, and you have mashed it, and you are ready with as your MVP after mashing it. And so after validating it, you have added very less spices, you can say only salt and red chili into it, and you have given this to the end user as a MMP. Now after like taking the feedback, so the next version of this potato vegetable, you will make it more spicy, and the next version or the second version of this potato vegetable will be very spicy, you can say sauji potato vegetable. Thank you.
Hi friends, good evening. So today's question is, what is the difference between MVP and MMP? So first let's see the full form of MVP and MMP. So MVP stands for minimum viable product, and MMP stands for minimum marketable product. So now let's see what is MVP and MMP briefly. So what is MVP? So MVP is the simplest form of a product that is being offered to the beta testers or early adopters. Okay, so this is what an MVP is. It is the simplest form of the product that you are developing, and it is targeted to the beta testers and early adopters for testing. What do you do from this is, after it is being released to the beta testers and early adopters, you take feedback from these people and you use it for developing additional features or additional versions. Okay, so this is what the MVP is for. And the main goal of MVP is also, to release it to this, early users, and use that feedback in order to develop further versions of the product. So this is called as an MVP. We will look at the examples at the end. So first, now we will move on to the MMP in a brief. So what is MMP? So MMP is simply a product that is presentable to the audience in a market. Okay, you have a product that can be released to an audience for the usage in the market. So here the main goal of MMP is to present the product in such a way that it is in a presentable way and it is in a very useful way to the particular targeted audience. So this is the main goal of the MMP. And finally, what is MMP and what is MVP is now itself you can grasp these points. Like MMP is it is all of MVP, and it also includes much more than an MVP. So how this takes place is first we more than an MVP. So how this takes place is first we develop a minimum viable product, and with that we move on to the minimum marketable product. So that is how it is. So that's why we say MMP is all of MVP and much more than MVP. So now let's take an example here. You can take the examples of the Android versions that is being released to us. So what happens first is, whenever an Android version is released, they release the version to the beta testers first. So the beta testers first test this version in their mobile phones, check for any bugs and all those things, and they report it back to the Google team. So this is called as an MVP. It is a minimum viable product. They say that this is the new OS and this is what we have developed in the new OS. Why don't you test it and give us some feedback? So these people will give them the feedback, and according to this feedback, they will add some new features, or they will make things in a better way. They may change the UI in a very conveniencing way. Say for example, they may feel that the scrolling is not so good, so they want to tweak the scrolling a little bit. They say that they are not able to scroll or access the entire length of the screen properly. All these things are the feedback that is being given to the Google team for further enhancement of the particular OS. So that is how they enhance the product, and they will release it to the market, which is called as a minimum marketable product. Okay, now an Android version is released in the market. What is the next step? Even after releasing in the market, there might be some bugs. Some people say that the camera is not working, or the recording feature is not working. There are some, they say that the photo image is not good. So these are some things that the team will again work on the MMP, and they try to enhance it in the upcoming versions. So this is a classic example for the MVP and MMP case. So that's it from my end, guys. I hope you got to know the difference between MVP and MMP. Thank you all. See you. Bye.
Yeah, MMP means minimum marketable product and MVP means minimum viable product. So each and every sprint goal can be considered as a minimum viable product, and through the series or the integration of frequent sprint actually make the MMP, minimum marketable product. So this is the part 1. Then in my next 2 video I will explain the real life example. Thank you. Yes, so as an example we can consider our bachelor degree. So each and every semester is like a sprint. So after each semester we clear, we become a minimum viable product, or we are semi-engineer. So after completion of 8 semester we became the minimum marketable product. That means we are eligible for working in the IT industry or the relevant sector. And after the training we are actually improving day by day ourselves. So each semester can be considered as a minimum viable product, and through the completion of all semester or integration, it is actually making you the minimum marketable product. Thank you.